All right, well, continuing on with the performers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I know that you did see this story, but I thought I'd bring it up anyway.
Okay.
Rapper Tiny Jag pulls out of Detroit Music Fest after learning that white people have to pay a higher ticket price.
Yeah, that seems fair.
A Detroit-based rapper, Tiny Jag, pulled out of a Detroit, Michigan music festival this week after she learned that the white concert goers would be charged a higher price than the people of color. Jag, also known as Jillian Grand, told the Detroit Metro Times that she found out about the Afro Futures Fest. Afro Futures Fest.
All right.
Pay model when a white friend reached out to her and sent her a screenshot by way of Instagram that outlined the pay difference. The early bird people of color ticket was $10, while the early bird non-people of color ticket cost $20.
Right.
Now I wonder how they verified that.
No civil rights violation or anything there, right?
Well, I got a point to make here, and I'll make my point in a minute. But how did the concert promoters verify whether you were a person of color or not?
Probably with the ticket that you showed up with. Wait a minute, this ticket says POC. You're not a POC.
Right. Well, I got it from my friend.
No, then you got to give us $10 more. You're a POW.
Yeah.
Person of whiteness.
Right. I was immensely enraged just because I'm biracial. So basically, if she was full black, she wouldn't have been upset about this.
Well, technically you're true, but it's hard to fucking criticize the one person that fucking took the right stand.
Well, no, and I'm going to agree with you there, but my point is that she's making the point that the only reason she was upset about this policy was because she's biracial.
Well, yeah.
But my point is if she was full black, would this have been an issue?
Why do you continue to expect people to have standards and morality?
I'm just asking.
What is wrong with you?
I'm just asking the question.
There's no standards and no morality. You're white. You're the white devil. Get it through your head.
All right. I'm just asking the question.
Adjust your headphones. The horns are pulling them off your ears.
Apparently so.
Oh, look at you reaching back. You got some horns up there. There you go. Now, you should. Every time we do one of these stories, you should wear those so that you can be the white devil.
Yeah.
They light up.
Yeah, they do. I got to turn them on here. I forgot where the switch is. There's a switch on here. Oh, there it is. There we go.
Are those AC/DC horns originally?
Yeah, they're AC/DC horns.
That's so good, but now they're the Neely White Devil horns.
Yeah, they flash and shit. There we go.
That's fucking great.
I'm wearing my White Devil horns.
There you go.
See this?
And it's past the first 10 minutes, so people won't see that for free.
Yeah.
They're blinking.
Yeah, I know. I told you that.
Now I can't stop fucking watching that.
I have my props, man.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
No shit. It's great.
Poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio.
Too funny.
This was a black skull that I collected.
Rub the shine off it.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a wish.
Oh man. All right, that is fucking hysterical with the horn.
All right. I was immediately enraged just because I am biracial.
Oh, good.
Just because of that.
Well, at least you got a reason.
Yeah. I have family members that would have, under those circumstances, been subjected to something that I would never want them to be in. especially not because of anything that I have going on.
Right.
The organizers of the event are upfront, and they are charging different prices based on race, including sharing artwork on social media with a coupon about the early bird tickets that reads, "Early bird people of color tickets are $10 and $20 for non-people of color, on sale July 17th.
Well, I still question how that is like legal.
Well, the thing is, and I'll get to my point here in a minute, Jag said it was hard to cancel the show and apologize to her fans.
Okay, good.
It's not fun to withdraw from shows, especially at home, especially in your hometown, and especially when your supporters have been so good to you, she says. It's also not fun to do that to my fellow black women.
Right.
Like, that sucks too. It sucks that this is a thing that's put a wedge here. Afrofuture Fest shared a message on their event page on the ticketing site Everbright, explaining their price discrepancy. They explained that their ticket structure was built to ensure people in the community would have an equitable chance to enjoy the event. So basically, what are they saying? That black people are poor?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah. So basically, are they perpetuating a stereotype?
Of course they are, yes.
Okay. So they're racists.
Yes.
Okay. Why do we have people of color and non-people, that is white people, tickets? I'm glad you asked. Equality means treating everyone the same. Equity is ensuring everyone has what they need to be successful. Our ticket structure was built to ensure that the most marginalized communities, that is the people of color, are provided with an equitable chance to enjoy the events in their own community, that is Black Detroit.
So by having the tickets the same cost, it makes less people able to buy the tickets that are black?
That's more or less, I think that's what they're saying. They say black people don't have money.
Or the white people are going to buy up all the tickets to whatever this is, the Afro Fest?
Something like that.
Okay.
According to Joy and Pleasure, affording joy and pleasure is unfortunately still a privilege in our society for people of color, and we believe everyone should have access to receive such. We've seen too many times orgasmic, that's what it says, orgasmic events happening in Detroit and other people of color populated cities, and what consistently happens is people outside of the community benefiting most from affordable ticket prices because of their proximity to wealth. So basically they're saying that black people are broke dicks.
Yeah.
This cycle disproportionately displaces black and brown people from enjoying entertainment in their own communities. As an Afrofuturist with your lead initiative, the voice of our youth inform your resistance.
Right. What's the name of this festival?
It's called the Afro. What is it? What the hell is it?
Future or something?
Yeah, it's called Afrofuture Fest. Now, I know there's been a follow-up story where they changed the policy due to this, due to the backlash.
Of course.
But the problem here is that they are perpetuating a stereotype that black people are poor.
Yes, they are.
But here's the issue.
Okay.
Our government has perpetuated this stereotype through what we've accepted as what, Chris?
Racism?
No.
What? Accepted as what?
Affirmative action.
Okay. All right. Yeah, sure.
So this is just another affirmative action program.
What, this concert?
Yeah, if you look at the tenets of what they're doing here,
Yeah.
They are just practicing affirmative action is what they're doing.
Never would hold in court.
No. I'm not saying it's a legal thing to do it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that the principle is the same.
No, it's not.
It is the same. Absolutely.
The principle is reverse racism 101.
Well, you don't think that's what affirmative action is? What is affirmative action to you?
I think at the time that affirmative action was established, I think it's well outdated and should definitely be adjusted. But I think at the time when affirmative action came into play, you really still had the guys that were, riding in with their horse and dragging somebody behind them, and they just disappeared into the night. You couldn't get a black guy to get a job. You couldn't get a black guy to, sit in the right place on the bus. That's when affirmative action got put into play. When you send in the National Guard to let people go to fucking school. That's when all this stuff got, ramped up and then got put into play. I think it's grossly overplayed these days. Well,
I agree, but when I was in the business world of a corporate business world,
sure,
the way that affirmative action was explained to me, especially in the 70s, 80s, into the 90s,
right?
Just for example, when I worked for Roadway, and I was running the garage operation. I was one of the supervisors in the garage.
Okay.
And we had we were hiring mechanics.
Okay.
They would bring, say, a black guy and a white guy, both applied to be a mechanic. Well, they would give them a test, some kind of an aptitude test.
Sure.
And if the white guy took the aptitude test and he failed, they would say to him, "Thank you for coming in. We appreciate your application and whatnot, but you don't qualify." White or black guy comes in, takes the exact same test. He also fails. They say to him, "Come back next Tuesday and we'll test you again."
Right.
That was affirmative action at that point.
It's pandering. That's what it is. It's all pandering.
Right. But my point is that they're using similar attitudes about this. It's just that, well, you're poor, you're underprivileged, you're this, you're that, so we need to give you some kind of a handout.
Yeah, but the difference between then and now is that the people that they're labeling as poor is 100% on their own decisions. It's not because of opportunity.
I agree.
Not because of opportunity. Back in the 80s, there was still some opportunity issues there. Not a lot. I mean, I still think what you're reading was bullshit even then.
Yeah.
But there were still opportunity issues that arose. This is just flat out racism.
Well, I agree.
This is not. They're not perpetuating affirmative action. They're just straight up saying, we don't want fucking white faces at our fucking show. That's what they're saying. Let's be honest about what this is and not try to government spin this in any kind of way, shape, or form.
Sure.
This is just straight up hate for the white man. Period.
Well,
and it's not legal.
Yeah. Well, and I agree. I completely agree. So anyway, they got hit with a lot of backlash. So they decide to backpedal on this.
Okay.
So an Afro-futurist group says it has reversed its decision to charge white people more for tickets in its Detroit festival than black and brown people because they received threats, an artist dropped out, and a ticketing website threatened to unpublish their event.
Okay.
The Everbright page of Afro Future Fest, hosted by Afro Future Youth, advertised an early bird people of color ticket for $10, and people of color meaning people. It's a POC meaning people of color, and an early bird non-people of color ticket for $20.
Yeah.
News of the group's charging participants hit social media last week when the rapper Tiny Jag said she was unknowingly asked to the August event but agreed to support and the platform. Tiny Jag then said she was not going to be paid for the performance. Once the rapper caught wind of the prices, she said she was triggered.
Triggered.
She was triggered. A non-person of color of mine brought to my attention that the Afrofuture is requiring non-people of color to pay twice the amount to attend the festival. The rapper said she was biracial and her grandmother is white. Tiny Jag said that she felt emotionally triggered because the charging practices makes a group of people feel like they are not wanted at the event and like they're paying a debt for another community.
Millennials and their douchey terms.
Of course.
Ugh, pathetic.
I didn't think we were near that thinking that something like that could be progressive, she said. We have never seen hate work. I don't understand. It's always hate.
Oh, they do hate.
Why does it always come down to hate?
Well, in this case, you're not going to say that's hate. They hate white guys.
I don't. Maybe I'll have to think about that for a minute.
Yeah, dude. And let's be clear. If you really want to perpetuate this, it's fine. I as a white guy, I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm fine with having different rates for different races. I'm fine for that. Just make it across the board that I can do it whichever way I want.
Right.
You know, because let me throw a concert and say, okay, white guys are $50 and black guys are $75.
Right.
Fine. And if you really want to, the thing that I always find to be ironic is the people that are always perpetuating this bullshit are the first ones to stand up and say that they don't want to have segregation. Why? Because in the end, the fucking the ones that they want to segregate will blow right past them if they could use segregation. Can you imagine if white business, and I'll just use the term white business. Can you imagine if white business was able to segregate? Was able to say, we're only going to hire these white people. We're only going to sell to white people. We're only going to work with white people. Can you imagine? There'd be a lot of backlash. Would there be somebody that would raise up in the other community doing the same business that would do as well? I say no. What do you think?
Well, it only works one direction.
Oh, what I'm saying is if you made it across, do you as just a regular person, don't you think that I'm going to say 80% of people, don't you think that 80% of people would be okay with segregation as long as it goes both ways?
I would agree. If it was equal across the board, I think people would probably go, yeah, it's not an issue.
Yeah, if people wanted to say this is a black concert, only black people can come. If it was, whatever, it was Lil Wayne and Snoop Dogg on tour, and they said only black people can come to this show, I don't think you'd have that much blowback. If you said Judas Priest and Black Label Society is only white people concert.
Yeah, then not a good choice because there's black in Black Label's name.
Sorry, okay.
So don't use Black Sabbath either.
Judas Priest and
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden. No black people can come to that show. Do you think that there would be backlash? I think there would not be, personally. I mean, I think there would be social justice fags that would bitch about it, but they're not the people that would have bought tickets in the first place.
Yeah, well, you're right about that. And the point, I get what you're saying, that if it's going to be applied, it's got to be applied equally across the board.
Yeah, exactly. You know, let's face it. If this Afro Future Fest, and I don't know who is on this bill other than Little Jag, and she's not even, or he or whatever is not even on this show. But I'm going to make a bold statement here. I'm going to make a Rev-type bold statement.
I'm going to make a very bold statement.
I am.
Well, only tap your desk if you're going to do this. There you go.
If the tickets were $10 for black people and free for white people, you would not see more than 5 white faces at this show. You wouldn't. The Afro Future Fest, to go see Little Jag and other names on that level, you would not see any white faces at that show.
You're probably right.
Just like if you gave away free tickets to black people to see the Billy Morris Band, which I'm going to guess is the equivalent of Little Jag.
Yeah.
In Cleveland. If you give away free tickets to the Billy Morris Band, odds are good you're not going to see any black faces at it.
You're probably right. Just
not. This is like the dumbest thing to argue about. Why would you put yourself, and maybe there's got to be kids that put this festival on.
Yeah, well, it did say something about millennials or something.
Because why would you purposely violate civil rights law to put on a fest like this, where all you need is one fucking white guy to buy the $20 ticket and he can sue you for every goddamn penny you have for violating his civil rights? Right?
I would agree.
If I would have known about it, I would have bought a ticket to jump into whatever class action lawsuit will come out of this. Because they're going to get sued. There's no other way. They have to be sued for this, don't they?
It did. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on what side of the issue you're on, they did change their mind, which is what we're into right now.
Right.
Saying, we're going to have to do something different here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a ridiculous, dumb story.
Well, I agree. Let's see. Everbright said in a statement, permit events that require attendees to pay different prices based on their protected characteristics such as race or ethnicity. In this case, we have notified the creator of the event about the violation and requested that they alter their event accordingly. Mm-hmm. We have offered them the opportunity to do this on their own accord, which they not wish to comply. Let's see. If they the way that this is written is terrible. We have offered them the opportunity to do this on their own accord. Should they not wish to comply, we will unpublish the event and completely from our site.
Yeah.
The group says...
Basically, Eventbrite does not want to be sued for a civil rights violation.
Of course. The group says it is reasoning for doubling the ticket prices for white people was because white people have the privilege to attend festivals in people of color populated cities.
And all I've got to do is produce one white guy that works at McDonald's and makes $7 an hour to prove that stereotype wrong, and then therefore make this whole argument irrelevant and illegal.
Right.
All I gotta do is produce one. Think I could find one? I bet I could.
Of course you could.
Stupid.
In other words, the group says white people can afford tickets to any event in the city while black and brown people cannot.
So poor, so black.
Oh my God. This cycle disproportionately displaces black and brown people from enjoying entertainment in their own communities.
Why? All right, there's so... Oh, my God. You're going to make me fucking punch my goddamn screen. This is enraging me for so many reasons.
I can imagine.
And believe it or not, the biggest part of it is not even the racial component.
Right.
It's the stupid component. First of all, these tickets are not $100 a ticket.
True.
These fucking tickets are $10. $10 fucking dollars. if you can't, I don't care what race you are, if you can't afford $10 to go to a show, then you got much bigger problems than being able to afford to go to the show.
I agree.
You know, at my brokest, when I was in the service and I was making $590 a month, I could afford $10 once in a month to go somewhere and do something.
Right.
And I was making $590 a month. And I could give 10 of that to go do something.
Sure.
If you can't afford a 10 spot with 3 months of notice, you got much bigger problems than seeing Little Jag do its big hit. Whatever. Her, he, she, whatever.
Yeah, it's a girl.
It's so fucking lame.
Yeah.
Just stupid.
But see, here's what they're also perpetuating, the stereotype that black people are not they're not productive.
Yeah.
They're not productive. They have no ability to go out there and make it on their own, or unless we give them something.
Yeah, which is just not true in 2019.
I agree. I completely agree. So what they're not doing a service to black people. They're not.
No.
They're perpetuating a stereotype that black people have no opportunity. They have no ability to earn. They have no ability to have any money. That they're destined to be poor the rest of their lives, and we have to give them something in order to allow them to have the same access or privileges as everybody else.
It says you're black, you're a bum.
Yeah, more or less.
That's what it says. Meanwhile, this is in Detroit.
Yeah, it's in Detroit.
You know, I'm not saying all the jobs, but I'm going to say let's take a look at the government jobs in Detroit. How many of those government jobs are held by tidy whiteys?
Hard to say.
If you had to guess.
I'm going to say white people in Detroit running Detroit.
In all levels. Everything from the guy that scoops the dead deer off the road.
I'm going to say that the mix is probably 70% black, 30% white.
I would say it's probably even higher, like 80-20.
All right.
It's a black city. Detroit is a black city, black and Muslim. Both are is Muslim considered people of color?
No, they're just. I don't know that they are. They're. I don't
people
know what
with terror.
People with terror. Now you're perpetuating a stereotype.
Yes, POTs.
Yeah,
that's what
Yeah, that's where Talib is from.
Yeah, good. Well, there we go. See, you just proved my point. I'm not being racial.
Yeah,
I'm not being a bigot here. You just proved it by pointing out the main terrorist of the fucking city.
Afrofuture Youth's website said they are a youth program that looks to uplift black children through the lens of Afrofuturism, which is a philosophy looking at the intersection of African culture and technology.
Okay.
After the backlash, the group tweeted Sunday night that they had reversed their decision in the ticketing prices because they received threats from white supremacists. And children were subjected to seeing racist comments on social media.
Oh, you mean the racism that you sparked when you tried to say that because you're white, you have to pay more?
That's not racism. That's just reality.
You sparked that fucking outrage, you dumb bitches. Holy shit.
The ticketing formula came up with, included a $20 general admission fee and a suggested donation for non-POCs.
Oh, good. Let me donate some extra money.
Right.
So let me $25 instead of $20.
Of course. Events often designed for marginalized black and brown communities can be usually co-opted by those with cultural, monetary, and class privileges.
Shut up. Dude, if you, in your business selling the shipping container.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you got a phone call from a guy and you said, hey, this is Wendell, how can I help you? And they said, you know what? I'm in the market. I want to buy 4 shipping containers.
Yes.
If your first question was, are you white or black? What would happen?
They'd probably either complain or just hang up right away.
And how long would it be until your boss or bosses would be in your office saying, it's been a good run, but get the fuck out?
Probably immediately.
Within 5 minutes, I would think, right?
Mm-hmm.
You simply can't do that.
Right.
And that's exactly what they're doing here. That's exactly what they're doing. Oh, you want to come to our event? Well, are you white or black?
Well, this is a social justice warrior thing.
Yeah.
More or less perpetuating this thought process or stereotype that white people are taking up all the resources and nobody else can have any.
Well, then make your event. I challenge them to make their event no white people then. Just make it no white people and see how your event does. I got a feeling it's not going to do too well now anyway.
Yeah.
But, okay. Go for it.
Yeah. So there you are. They buckled under the pressure, but again, this is just this whole attitude that see, we're just trying to, and again, this whole attitude of, well, we have to give you something in order to help you along.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, poor babies. We need to coddle you.
Yeah,
you're incapable of getting yourself educated or smarter, and and it's funny because forget all the fucking college and all that. For the sake of today's argument here, I'm going to go ahead and agree that maybe black people can't afford college. I'm not saying that's a true legitimacy, but for the sake of this argument, let's just agree with that for a minute, okay? How many free resources are there now to get yourself educated enough to get a job paying $25 to $50 an hour? How many resources are there now on Google, on YouTube, on whatever?
There's a ton of them out there.
So, a black kid, 18-year-old black kid, that cannot afford to go to college, could go to the library every day for 2 months, take intro to computer whatever, some kind of a computer class, teach themselves online, then go to an employment agency, take the testing that they need to have that skill to be hired, and get themselves a temp to perm job, probably making 18 to 20 an hour, and once they get hired in, making about 25 an hour. Is that not how that works?
Yeah, but the key factor here is you have to apply yourself to do that.
True. That is true. But what this dumb festival is perpetuating is that's an impossibility.
That's what I'm saying. It's that, well, you're helpless. You can't succeed, so we're just going to give you something.
Yeah, you apparently don't have access to Google. You apparently don't have access to YouTube. And you don't have access to desire to want to do better.
Right.
And that's fucking lame.
I agree.
That's bullshit.
I completely agree. All right. Well, something happened here this week, and not here, but happened this week that made headline news all over the place.
Okay.
There was a big brawl at Disneyland.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it made the news all over the place. I mean, the video went viral. Mm-hmm. And basically, Disneyland, the happiest place on earth, apparently was not the happiest place on earth for this select group, who chose to make a spectacle of themselves by getting into, I guess it would fall under domestic violence, or public violence.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Couple of white families?
No.
No.
Stunned,
shocked by that.
But the guy that I think would sum this up the best, who was completely disgusted by the display that was put on, is someone who speaks from the quote-unquote the black community.
Okay.
And who has done well for himself and who does apply himself and who does go to work every day and who does value his family and his job and his status in the community and all those things.
Reverend Al Sharpton.
No.
No?
No. Someone that I've been trying to get on the show for a while, but for some reason I'm not making connection. I don't know why. Either the email that I'm sending it to he doesn't look at it or whatever. Is Jericho Green?
Barack Obama.
No. No.
No. Jesse Jackson.
No.
No. Damn. Who else is there that's a strong advocate for the black community? Go ahead.
That would be Jericho Green.
I like Jericho Green.
Jericho has some insight about the disturbance, the dust up, the display of public and domestic violence that went on at Disneyland of all places.
Okay.
And I think his points were very poignant, and you could just hear the disgust in his voice over the whole thing.
Okay.
So let's break this down a little bit.
All right.
What's going on, Americans? Jericho Green here with you once again with my fresh new JG hat. That's right, I had to update my own green gear. So, if you haven't heard, apparently the happiest place on earth is not the safest place on earth. I think it was this weekend or something. These fucking jackasses are in Toontown inside of Disneyland, and these jackasses get into a damn fight. Who the fuck is fighting at Disneyland?
Well, that's a good point. That's a good general point. Not even a racially sensitive point. Just in general, who the fuck is fighting at Disneyland?
Yeah, it's the happiest place on earth. What a sad commentary. Apparently, it's not the safest place on earth.
Yeah, it is sad. That's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're wondering, check out the video. You'll see 4 of these ghetto-ass animals, 4 adults, 2 men, 2 women, and one of them's pushing a stroller with 2 fucking kids in it. Apparently, the conversation got heated, and the one in the white top, big Nell Carter-looking bitch,
a Nell Carter-looking bitch.
Wow.
We got to get Jericho on.
We got to have him on, man. He fits what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. But just hysterical, though.
Oh.
Just love Jericho.
He's funny.
spits in this dude's face. Now, this dude is probably 6'3", 250 pounds. This dude is huge. So he starts throwing hands at this chick, on her, at her, whatever. He starts hitting her. Now, you would think a man of that size hitting your average woman, she'd be out. She'd be done. So he ends up swinging on 3 of the people he's with. Again, like I said, you would think a man of this size, if he punches anybody in the face, they're going to sleep, especially a woman. These women were much smaller than him. So you would think he connects, lights out, everybody who gets hit, you get to park in the blue parking space in front of the store for the rest of your life.
Not only is he on point, but he's funny, too.
It's funny.
Right? Wrong. This dude obviously has sugar in his tank because he is slapping and pulling hair. Luckily for them, Luckily, he didn't know how to fight. Luckily, he didn't ball his hands up. But this dude is basically a big-ass sissy, and he's slapping and pulling hair. And then
So what does he mean by this guy must have sugar in his tank? What is he really saying there?
Hey!
Are you allowed to say that these days?
Well, maybe the YouTube censors didn't put together what sugar in his tank meant.
We're lighting the loafers?
Yeah.
Okay.
One point in the video, one of the women, he was like walking, they were talking. Oh, they were walking together. All of a sudden, he just starts swinging on her ass too, pulling hair, pulling him to the ground. Now, Disney is getting some backlash because they took, there's a 5-minute video. These fools took 3 minutes to show up to the scene. You didn't see any Disneyland security until 3 minutes in. Now, on one hand, I can understand that. Quick response. This is Disneyland. People are paying a lot of money just to get in there. You haven't bought any food, no souvenirs, nothing. Just to step in the gate, you paid a shitload of money, so I want good service. Good, prompt, professional, polite service. 3 Ps. Prompt, professional, and polite.
I think Stephen Piercy would disagree with that.
He's got a different set of P's.
He's got a different set of 3 Ps.
He sure does. Party, pussy, and paycheck, baby.
Right.
But on the other hand, how busy is Disneyland security? Now, I'm sure there's probably some behind-the-scenes episode somewhere on the fucking Discovery Channel where it's Disney security. Yeah, I'm sure they do have things to do, but how often do they break up a damn fight in Toontown?
Hey, hold on a minute, though. I did agree with Jericho here a bit, and I'll tell you why. First of all, the person that was filming this isn't reporting this.
No,
they're just filming it.
But that's what everybody does anymore. They don't report it. They don't run for help. Nothing. They just stand there with their camera just to make sure they get it all.
Right. So to me, 3 minutes doesn't sound crazy. Disney's huge. I don't know if you've ever been there.
I have been there. I used to live out there. I've been to Disneyland several times. Now, this isn't Disney World. This isn't Florida. This is California.
Yeah. It's big.
Yeah.
It's a big fucking place. They have their own police staff. It's like a city.
Yep.
The thought that they have every single thing being observed every minute. The only way you're going to get response in like a minute is if there's police that are right there that just happen to be there at that spot, or if somebody happens to catch it on the camera over the other 60 fucking cameras that are on in their office and alert somebody.
Right. Or if there's some kind of an emergency call booth or something within the area, say, hey, you need to get down here right away.
But in reality, if you think about reality, dude, me and you, we've both been to bars and we've seen fights or been in fights for me. The first time somebody throws a punch, somebody's not calling the police. The only time the police get called is if it keeps going or it gets crazy.
Right.
Somebody throws a couple of punches, a couple of punches get thrown and then everybody separates and walks away. There's no police called for that.
No.
It's when it lasts a minute or two that the police get called. So realistically, this fight probably kept going, or it did, we saw it, was going for about 2 minutes, and then somebody fucking alerted security, and security made it over there within about a minute of being notified.
Yeah.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
3 minutes, I think that's reasonable.
Sure.
Don't you?
Yeah, I would think so, yeah.
I get what he's saying, but I just don't agree with him on that. 3 minutes. If it was 30 minutes, that's another story.
Yeah.
3 minutes, whatever. Good entertainment, better than the fucking Epcot Center.
So people are standing around, ushering their kids out of the way, horrified at what the fuck is going on inside of the happiest place on earth. What the fuck is this shit? Every adult involved in that should be caned. Remember that kid in 94 went to Singapore, decided to spray paint on some shit, and they caned his ass? That's what they need to do to these fucking idiots. It was so bad you had to start fighting right then and there. You couldn't walk away and just leave? We'll handle this later? What the fuck? You had to fight right there in Disneyland in front of all those families, in front of all those kids. You piece of shit. Not only that, hey, thanks a lot for perpetuating the stereotype, you fucking assholes. Everybody in there who wasn't black was like, see, I told you. Look at him.
That's the best part right there.
He's right,
See? I told you. Yep, that figures. Mm-hmm.
He's 100% right, too.
I know.
I guarantee you nobody that was there, not one person onlooking was like, yep, crazy people.
Yeah.
It was definitely look at the...
Yeah. It's like, yeah, that's to be expected.
Yeah, it was look at the word under breath.
Yeah.
Uncivilized fucking animals. You can't take them anywhere. These niggas decided to fight inside of Disneyland. And I'm not using that as a term of endearment. I'm using that to describe these ghetto-ass pieces of shit. In my house growing up, my parents did not throw that word around lightly. It was not part of our everyday lexicon. If my parents said nigga, they were talking about some low-down, dirty, ghetto piece of shit. That's what that word means to me. That's how that word was used when I was growing up in my house. Like Chris Rock said, there's black people and there's niggas, and niggas have got to go.
Jericho. God damn. He's funny, man.
Yeah, he is.
You ghetto-ass motherfuckers. Security should have shown up, batons in hand, and started beating their ass.
The unfortunate truth, though, if they would have done that, they all would have been fired and arrested.
Absolutely.
That's the saddest part about it. These people, he's 100% right. They did deserve a Rodney King-style beating. And if they would have done it, they'd be going to jail.
Yep.
You guys want to fight? We'll give you a fight. You fucking ghetto trash. Man, I'd have been mad as shit if I'm in that park with my kids, my family, and these fucking dummies start fighting. They should be banned for life and arrested, all of them. I hope they were arrested, you fucking idiots. You ghetto... Oh, man. I saw that shit. So I come across my news feed, and it was a still shot, and you just see that big-ass sissy, open hand slapping a woman. I was like, oh, no! No! Say it isn't so. Man, I don't know, what the fuck do you say? Is it a stereotype at this point? I'm starting to think that regular, decent black folks, whom I happen to know a lot of, I'm starting to think we are the true minority. Are there fewer of us than these ghetto pieces of shit? You fucking Section 8 motherfuckers, man.
God damn.
Section 8 motherfuckers.
Holy smokes.
God. Now every racial group, you got your ghetto trash. You got the ones you see and you're like, oh, fuck, please don't look at me. We all have those. But it seems to me the ones that look like me always seem to pop up on the internet with some ghetto shit is happening.
The ones that look like me.
Jesus Christ. Does he mean black or big?
No, black.
Man.
So
He's hitting on the head.
Huh?
he's hitting it right on the head.
Oh,
though.
absolutely.
You know, it's you know, we said this years ago, but you're always subjected to what the last guy did.
Absolutely.
And the last guy is now the Disneyland guys.
Yeah.
The last black family is now the Disneyland family.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, you're going to be judged against that if you're black. And it's right. It's not right, but it's just truth. You know, when Dylan Roof went and shot up that church, you know, then all of a sudden white people from the South were all fucking potentially church shooters.
Yep.
You know, oh, you got a Confederate flag? Well, you must be wanting to kill me because I'm black.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You're always susceptible to the guy before you.
Sure.
You know, it sucks that it is that way, but it is true.
That's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this before, I'll say it again. Like my dad used to tell me, son, they may be your color, but they ain't your kind. This is a textbook definition. Fucking assholes. Bring caning to America. Here are your first 4 candidates. Now let me hop in this damn rat race. It's my Monday. But that's all right. I got my new Fresh Prince sweatshirt. I'm ready. My new green gear. I'm ready. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please.
So there you go. Dumbass ghetto motherfuckers.
Jesus.
Thanks for perpetuating the stereotype.
I think he's a little upset this week.
Yeah, I think so. Well, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're trying to get ahead in this country to where organizers don't have to offer us half-price tickets because we're broke dick motherfuckers, and look what you guys did.
Well, you know that Future Fest, the Afro Fest or whatever, what they should do is just sell the tickets for $10 a piece, but show that video of Disney at the checkout thing on their website. That'll keep the white folks out.
Sure.
They just see that video playing. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to that festival.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, look who's going to be attending here. These are the people we're giving $10 tickets to.
Yeah, these are the people that get the cheap tickets.
Yeah, you're welcome to come if you like.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Sad.
So there you go, Jericho Green.
There he is.
All right, well, let's play a couple of tunes. We'll come back and we'll wrap up the show.
All right.
What do you like to hear?
How's about if we go with how about not? No, I don't want to do that one. How about something from the Watchers?
Okay.
Like Black Abyss or something.
Okay.
That's a good one. Or what is the song? Something Sabbath Highway. Sabbath Highway.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Let's see here. Watcher Sabbath Highway.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
All
right, let's do this thing. This is Watcher Sabbath Highway exclusively here
on your classic metal show.